Hi, it's me, Ingrid INFP, and I'm going to be doing my poetry corner, so welcome. I am finished with my scarf today, so I have to start a new project. I don't know what to start, so I'm going to start by doing a slip knot and trying to figure out my way from there. I will be talking about Emily Dickinson's I Dwell in Possibility, which I feel is a very INFP poem. I'm the only person who thinks that Emily Dickinson is an INFP, but okay, who cares? I do see why she would be an INFJ as well, you know. But yeah, so this poem I found it on Poetry Foundation, so I'm going to be reading it now. I dwell in possibility. I dwell in possibility, a fairer house than prose, more numerous of windows, superior for doors, of chambers as the Cedars, impregnable of eye, and for an everlasting roof, the Gambrels of the sky. Of visitors the fairest, for occupation, this, the spreading wide my narrow hands, together paradise. And so that's Emily Dickinson. Poets that I strive to be again and again. I keep wanting to be like her, which will never happen, but you know, not for lack of trying. I particularly like that one. I have a few other favorites, but this one kind of reminds me of INFPs and their extroverted intuition and such. So I don't really know what she was like referring to herself. Emily Dickinson lived a pretty hermit-like life, but her mind was not bound. She was free in her mind, and she had the imagination. She could live on her own because her imagination, her inner world was so large compared to her physical world, which wasn't. And so she talks about how the house of possibility is so large, and it's superior than prose, because she writes poetry rather than writing prose. She doesn't write prose, which is the more like norm, like the less creative kind of the types of writing, because you have to keep yourself to like writing about concrete. So she'd rather talk about the dream world, the world of windows and doors, rather than the place that is small and cramped. And she talks about the head, like the roof, the ceilings are high, you know, and it's a beautiful place. Like you can imagine the place that is like the Gambrels of the sky is the only limit, basically. And I guess that Emily Dickinson found comfort in being at home, which I can also agree to. I'm not a hermit like Emily Dickinson, but you know, sometimes I wish I were, because it's not fun to have to deal with society and such. So yeah, let's see, what else did I think about this poem? I think that also the fact is that she only invites the visitors that she wants in her little kingdom. She has another poem that's kind of like that, which is called, wait, I forget what it's called. It's a poem where she talks about like how she guards her heart, and she only invites the best visitors. She doesn't invite like people who will come and disturb her peace, you know. And she and the occupation of these visitors is, I guess, worshiping God, or just people who are into poetry. You know, the only thing that they have to do is spread wide their narrow hands to gather paradise. It's like, yeah, poetry is beautiful. And you don't need to, it's like a fountain of beauty, you know? So I really like this poem. Let's see, what else? I like to think that I dwell in possibility. I like poetry a lot. I think that if I ever write a book, it would be a book of poetry rather than like prose. Like I could, but it's just like, it's not really about the plot, you know? I'm not interested in reading books that have like tons of plot. I'm rather into like how the characters and their emotional development and all of that stuff. That's something that interests me more. Even though I do enjoy books that have a lot of things going on. It's just me, myself writing that. I think that it would be a lot of training for me to write something that would be so... I'd have to spend a lot of time planning, and I don't have that kind of patience because I have other things to do with my life. Most of my poetry writing is pretty spontaneous, and I'll just find a sentence that I want to write, and then I'll add another sentence, and then like I'll add another sentence to piece the two together. I know that, for example, yeah, there are some people who really, they need to plan out the entire poem. They have a vision for the poem beforehand. But for me, it's just, you know, I piece it together like I'm modeling clay or something. It never really becomes like the way that I envision it at first. It's subject to change and such. So I really found a kindred spirit in Emily Dickinson. I have many of her other poems that I love, but I'll take them in another video. So tell me what you guys think. Do you have another video that you want me to do about poetry? I know that these are somehow getting popular. I'll get back to my INFP videoing and such, but considering the struggles of my life, I don't think that you really want to hear about that so much. I don't know what I am knitting. I have no idea. This is like the world's smallest granny square. Okay. Here we are. I think that I'll have to figure out a plan of what my next crocheting project will be, because this is not leading anywhere. We'll see what I manage to do. I'm thinking of getting into amigurumi again, or maybe I'll like do something else on screen. We'll see. Okay, so have a great day, everybody. Bye.